Volcanoes, beautiful, deadly, unforgiving. When the earth erupts, it does not ask permission. In seconds, paradise can turn into a hellscape. But some survive. Against all odds, through fire and fury, these are the true stories of people who stared death in the face and live to tell the tale. Brace yourself. This isn't fiction. This is survival. August 24th, 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius roars to life. Pompeii and Herculaneum are buried under a tidal wave of ash. One man, Pliny the Younger, watches from across the bay. He writes everything. His uncle, Pliny the Elder, sails toward the chaos to help others, and never returns. But Pliny survives, giving us the first eyewitness account of a volcanic eruption in history. He didn't just escape, he documented the end of two cities. I saw the sky darken, and the sea seemed to boil. My uncle, brave as he was, went to help. I stayed behind, writing down every moment. It was both my duty and my survival. May 8, 1902, Mount Pelée explodes. 30,000 people die within minutes. The city of Saint-Pierre is gone. But one man, Ludger Sylbaris, survives. Why? Because he was locked in a tiny windowless prison cell for drunken brawling. Buried under ash, barely breathing, burned and dehydrated. Ludger survives for 4 days before being rescued. Sometimes, punishment becomes salvation.
I thought I was done for, trapped in that cell. But the thick walls protected me from the worst of it. When they finally pulled me out, I was alive, against all odds.
Harry Truman, 83 years old, loved his mountain lodge. When Mount St. Helens threatened to erupt, he refused to leave. "This is my home," he said. On May 18th, 1980, the mountain exploded. A massive landslide erased everything in its path. Harry was never found, but his story lives on, a man who stood by his land, even in the face of death.
I've lived here for 50 years. No way I'm leaving now. This mountain and I, we're old friends. If she goes, I go with her.
Nevado del Ruiz, Colombia, 1985. Survivor, Álvaro Rodríguez. It was quiet before the storm. Then, hell came down the mountain. Lahars, deadly rivers of mud, consumed the city of Armero, 23,000 dead. Álvaro Rodríguez clung to a roof, surrounded by devastation. Nearby, a girl named Omaira Sanchez was trapped in debris, her final hours broadcast to the world. Álvaro survived, not unscarred, but alive to tell of the day when water and fire became death's instruments. I held on, even when everything around me was lost. The memories, they haunt me, but I am here to share the story. Mount Pinatubo, Philippines, 1991. Survivor, Aeta tribes and locals. In 1991, Mount Pinatubo awakened violently. But the Aeta people had seen the signs. Animals behaving strangely, water drying up, the mountain whispering danger. They fled early, escaping the blast that killed hundreds. Their ancient knowledge saved countless lives. Sometimes, the old ways know best. Eyjafjallajökull, Iceland, 2010. Survivor, local farmers, Eyjafjallajökull, the volcano that stopped planes around the world. But on the ground, it was a different battle. Farmers fought to keep livestock alive. Ash poisoned water, fields turned black. Yet they stayed, protecting their land and animals, not heroes in capes, heroes in boots. Survival was their daily duty. September 27, 2014. A sudden eruption catches 63 hikers off guard on Mount Pinatubo. Taiki Matsubara dives behind rocks, using his backpack as a shield against falling boulders. Ash is everywhere. Breathing becomes agony. When he's rescued hours later, he's nearly frozen, but alive. One moment of instinct saved his life.
White Island, New Zealand, 2019.
December 9, 2019. Tourists were exploring White Island when it erupted. Stephanie Browitt lost her father and sister. She was burned over 70% of her body. Pain, darkness, recovery. Today, she is a voice for safety and survival. Her story is not just about escaping, it's about enduring. Kilauea, Hawaii, 2018. Darryl Clinton was helping evacuate others during the 2018 Kilauea eruption. A lava bomb the size of a bowling ball shattered his leg. Bleeding and in shock, he was carried to safety. He thought he'd die, but he didn't. The scars remain, but so does the spirit to fight another day. Mount Merapi, Indonesia, 2010. The sacred mountain, Mount Merapi, erupted in 2010. A fiery avalanche rushed toward Kaliadem village. Hundreds died, but many lived because they listened to warnings. Evacuation came just in time. The mountain speaks, and those who listen survive. Nature is beautiful and brutal. These survivors didn't just escape lava. They endured loss, pain, trauma, but in their stories, we find courage, we find hope. So when the ground shakes, when the mountain whispers, will we be ready? Because survival begins not when the volcano erupts, but when we choose to listen. Which story shocked you the most?